This natural stone wall was the continuation of what we started on the upper level and incorporated this stairway that's cascading down this hillside. We built this wall with the same techniques we used on that upper section.
The stone I'm selecting here is a really good example of a nice flat-sided stone. We test fit it back in its place.
Close the door and leave the light on. The morning light should be coming soon. Kick off your shoes and leave the winter and the pain it brings to you. Lay your head upon my shoulder. Shut off your thoughts and clear your mind.
This natural stone wall was the continuation of what we started on the upper level up here with our hollow block. One of the reasons we chose this design was these were the leftover bricks from the project we did higher up on the hill that you saw in a previous series. We also had plenty of these yellow bricks left over. And then we purchased some more pink granite because we already had that started with our walls up in this upper section. We thought we'd just continue that theme down here and incorporated this stairway that's cascading down this hillside. And there was a well-established blood orange tree over here, so we wrapped that around a natural stone terraced wall and these yellow brick capping, which ties into the existing brick part of the house. We built this wall with the same techniques we used on that upper section, having a timber formwork in front of them, building the wall from the inside out, backfilling it with concrete as we go. You end up with a really strong, engineered, but attractive wall to hold all this dirt back.
Nobody knows how stem the rivers flow. Nobody feels the pain. Nobody knows how stem the rivers flow. Are you strong enough to break these chains? Are you strong enough to break these chains? Close the door and leave the light off. The morning light should be coming soon. Shut off your thoughts and clear your mind. I offer peace and understanding for the things that you seek to find. Nobody knows how stem the rivers flow. Nobody feels the pain. Nobody knows how to stem the river's flow. Are you strong enough to break these chains? Are you strong enough to break these chains?
To start our project, we're going to need to get some materials on site. We've already got the split face hollow block left over from the previous wall, and we've got plenty of brick capping, but we're going to need a lot more pink granite stone.
Well, we're back at our local stone supplier to get some more of the pink granite because we're going to be continuing that natural stone wall that we started next to the deck. It's going to be wrapped around the front of the deck.
There's a really good selection of stone here at my local supplier, but we need certain requirements for the type of stone we're going to be using to build these walls. Cube-shaped blocks with 90-degree corners are going to be needed for the ends of the walls and any corners in our walls. Most of the stones we select are going to be for the body of the wall. They're going to have one nice flat side because that's going to be the exposed side of the stone wall. I'm also going to need a variety of sizes. The largest of the stones should be easy for me to pick up, as when we're building the wall we have to lean over and put them on the back of the formwork. I take my time with this process as I'm going to have to make all these stones fit into the wall we're building later, so I want to select the right ones. The stone I'm selecting here is a really good example of a nice flat-sided stone. Part of the dry stone wall look is having a nice variety of stones in colour, texture and size. My goal here is to collect enough stone to get this wall started. It won't be nearly enough to get the wall finished. I can only carry so many stones in my trailer. So after getting a nice collection together, it's time to get back to the job site and put them in place.
It's about as much as I want to put in this trailer. I don't want to overload it. Crack my axle or something like that. Okay, I'll come back for more later. Of course, it's a bit rainy today, so I'm not sure how much we're going to get done, but we're just setting up, staging the area so we've got room to move because space is a bit tight around here. We're constantly building on top of the pathways that we need to get materials in. But that's kind of the point of this whole system, is to create pathways and flat areas for what's really an unmanageable hillside. We're going to be building another stone wall under the deck here that matches the stone wall we put in under the deck over there. But essentially we're going to be incorporating what we got started up on this part of the project to the next stage lower. I'm not sure how much I'm going to get done today because the rain's blowing in, as you can see. But we're staging the area so it's ready for work when the weather clears. So all the dirt here was from the excavation of the previous projects. We've flattened it out and compacted it as we went. And then we'll be building the staircase here where we have the temporary staircase we put together for getting materials up and down. But this is going to have a proper stone concrete staircase incorporated into the height of this blood orange. Because often with hardscape, you're tying it into living, mature trees. And that's part of your design system, whilst also making it ergonomic so it's safe and easy to walk up and down. This is the view you get from our terrace projects, looking out in the field behind us, where there's often horses. Well, there's even horses back there right now. Of course, today it's not a very nice weather, but all these terracing projects look out on this beautiful country view right here of those fields.
Lay your head upon my shoulder. Shut off your thoughts and clear your mind. I offer peace and understanding for the things that you seek to find. Nobody knows how still the rivers flow. Nobody feels the pain. Nobody knows how to stem the river's flow. Are you strong enough to break these chains?
The weather improved the next day, so we got started on this small stone wall we're building under the deck. I cleared out some debris in preparation for the foundation we're going to be digging here. I need to get a reference with my level so I know how much dirt I'm going to remove to end up with a flat spot for this foundation. By measuring the low side of this hill, it gives me an idea of how much dirt I'm going to have to dig out. I'm using my mattock and shovel to remove about ½ a metre of dirt. I also want to be able to dig down to the bottom of the foundation of these stumps, so when we pour out our concrete, it'll be sitting on top of the existing foundations. I need to excavate around this stump carefully, but I need to get all the way down to the bottom of the concrete footing. Due to the limited room underneath this deck, I've switched to using my small mattock so I can finish off the dig. With the concrete base of this stump exposed, I just want to even out the rest of this soil so we've got a nice flat area to lay our formwork. Our formwork foundation is going to be staying in the ground, so we're using the same treated pine material we've been using throughout this project on the upper terrace. I'm building the two sides of my formwork first for what's going to end up to be a giant box that the concrete foundation is going to be poured in. I'm using the first piece I cut to scribe the length of the second piece I'm going to cut. This can be a more accurate way of marking your timber than remeasuring with your tape measure. With both my pieces cut to identical length, I have to do one more cutout to custom fit it into this deck. We're cutting a little notch out of one of the corner of the pieces. The circular saw won't cut all the way through evenly, so we have to finish this off with a handsaw to get a really nice cutout. I give it a quick test fit out to see that everything's going to plan. I have to remove a little more dirt with my small mattock, and then I double check the fit. When I'm satisfied both these pieces fit properly, we set up for assembly. I had to come up with a system to join these two treated planks together so we have an extra wide plank that equals the depth of the wall we're going to build. I'm using 2 pieces of hardwood decking timber to join these together. They'll be hidden in the final wall. I'm fixing them together with heavy timber screws and pre-drilling all the holes first because this hardwood timber will split if you don't pre-drill it. These pieces of timber only have to hold these planks together as we build the wall. Once the wall's full of concrete, the concrete will hold these timbers in place. With our prefab sidewall solidly assembled, we test fit it back in its place. It's not quite lining up as I'd like it, so I've got to make a few adjustments. I'm going to need to pack it up to give it a bit more height. I'm also going to have to put a wedge in here to get it more vertical. I lock it in with just a single screw so we can still adjust it before we put the next screw in. After checking with my level that it's plumb and vertical, we put the second screw in. After double checking with my level, I can see that it's flaring out at the bottom, so I tap in a wooden wedge to compensate for this to get it completely vertical and plumb. We just duplicate the same thing on the other side.
Nobody knows how still the rivers flow. Nobody feels the pain. Nobody knows how still the rivers flow. Are you strong enough to break these chains? Are you strong enough to break these chains? Close the door and leave the light off.
Because this side piece is going to be an identical twin of the original piece, I'm just taking measurements off the one we've already installed to make it easier and faster for myself.
An understanding for the things that you seek to find. Nobody knows how still the rivers flow. Nobody feels the pain.
This form for our stone wall is now complete. In the next episode, we continue our timber work by building a garden edge around the tree that's on the pathway. Thanks for joining me this week in my YouTube channel. Check the link below, and while you're at it, hit the subscribe button or make a comment so I can help you with your future construction solutions. And don't forget to follow our channel for more ideas and how-to tips for home and garden projects.